Hi, this is Ray Wolf, and I am doing a short tutorial on Adobe Illustrator. Now, I'm kind of a beginner in this program. I mean, I obviously, as you'll see, don't know everything to this program, but I'm just going to show you how I use it. Okay, so I've taken pictures of my line arts, and I've just loaded them into the computer, and I've opened it up onto one layer. And then what I do is go over to this tab, create a new layer, and this becomes my line art layer. And then basically you pick whatever color you want to use for your line art. A lot of people use black. I do sometimes. Other times I'll use like a darker color than what I want the character to be. Like this is Pixie and Lucky, and Pixie is a pink dragon. So I'm going to make her line art like a dark pink. Maybe like this. Yeah, that's good. Alright, and so basically what I do is I'll go in and I'll just trace them. And this picture, by the way, is for Valentine's Day coming up next Friday. So I'm going to pause it and do the line art because no one wants to watch me do this, because this is probably going to take me like a good 20 minutes. Maybe longer. I don't know. So I'll pause it and start it back up again when I do the next thing. Alright, so I am back. I have finished the line art, and now I'm going to... I usually duplicate my line arts just in case I mess up somewhere. It's always nice to have a copy of them. And then you can just hide that. And for painting, I know there's lots of different ways you can paint. You can like move stuff to new layers and lock and stuff, but I haven't quite figured that out yet. So what I've been doing for now is I select the whole thing. I go to Object, Live Paint, Make, and then Object, Live Paint, Expand, and then I'll press K and that'll summon the paint bucket tool, or you can also click it over here. And basically pick what color you want and paint it, and then I always click out of it because sometimes it messes up when it's in. But then you can still summon K and yeah, like that. So yeah, then you just fill in the colors. I'm gonna pause it again and come back when I do shading. By the way, this is the first tutorial thing I've ever done, and I don't usually like recording my voice, so sorry if it's terrible. Okay, a few things I forgot to note. If you have drawn your characters before and you want their colors to match, you can always get a picture of them from before. You can select their color using the eyedropper tool and then paint it that way. That way you get these same colors every single time. Just something a little interesting. And, oh, there was something else I was supposed to mention. Oh, when you do your line art, you want to make sure that all the gaps are closed in so the paint bucket tool works. Otherwise it'll say, like, if you click outside of it, yeah. It'll say. Okay, so I'm back. Now, for shading, there's, like, so many different ways you can do it. The way I do it, or the way I've been recently doing it, is just to create a new layer. And I call this painting. Because when I shade, I also kind of try to give it a little bit of texture at the same time. And I go to brushes, and down here to this button, the library. I like the bristle brushes, and there's a whole bunch of different ones you can experiment with. And I just select them all just so I have them over here on this side. It's easier to have them over there for... Okay. And then what I do is, this isn't Lucky's actual color, it's kind of like darker than what he should be. But that's because I want him to have like a fur texture. So you have to have like a darker color underneath. So I'll get the eyedropper, get his color, and then you can go over here and you get this nifty little color guide. And I want his color, his top coat, to look something like this. So then I'll come over here, grab the paintbrush, and you want to make sure for your paintbrush to work, your color has to be this square, like the stroke, for it to work. Because if it's selected, if there's nothing there, then the paint... Well, that was a bad example. But that's because it just went back to what it was supposed to be. I don't know why. Probably because this is selected. But if that's not there, then it won't paint anything. But it does it by itself. I don't know why. That's something new that I've just found out today. So, yay! We're all learning. So we'll select this color. And there's tons of different brushes over here that I have. I like to start with a smaller brush. It's just neater that way. And you can zoom in. And I just like to go around the outside first with a smaller brush. And like I said before, I'm kind of new at this program too. So I mean, there's probably easier ways or better ways. I mean, if you know of any better ways, you can leave some comments below. Because I'm always up for learning new things too. But this is just how I do it for now. And just kind of go like this. And then with this nifty little tool, you can get darker colors too and kind of go underneath where it would be darker. And then you can get bigger brushes once you have like the outline. Just, I don't know, I like a lot of them. I like this one. This one's nice for that fur look. That's a little bit big though. This one's nice too. It just gives them a little bit of texture. Oh, and you can change, like this is 3-point brush, but you can change the size of the stroke by going up here. And sometimes it just helps to get for the, that's a little bit too small. For the smaller spaces, so it's not like everywhere. And you can definitely see that that's making them stand out a little bit more. And then shading just comes with experience, like knowing where the shadows would be, where it would be darker and lighter and stuff. I'm still kind of new at that. I really don't know what I'm doing all the time. Or most of the time, really. I really hope you know what I'm saying. Yay! Okay, so I'm gonna pause it and finish with what I'm doing, because I mean it's basically the same thing for Pixie. I mean, because she doesn't obviously have a fur texture, she's not a fluffy dragon. Or maybe she could be. That might be interesting. Because fluffy is always good. Everyone likes fluffy. But yeah, basically for her you do the same. You just select her main color with the eyedropper. And then you get your paintbrush and you can paint like some highlights and stuff just to make her stand out a little bit more. And yeah, so I'm going to pause it and finish what I'm doing with this, and I'll bring it back up for the background and stuff. Trying to think what else. We'll figure it out. Okay, back. Obviously I didn't finish the bottom portion of this, but the top portion you can see what a little bit of painting, the difference, what it can do. Just brings it a little bit more. Now for backgrounds, what I usually do, I mean my backgrounds aren't like the best, but you go to layers. If you put a layer below your line art layer, we'll call this background, and you can get, like, this is what I use, the rectangle tool, and then just select whatever color, whoa, not that, whatever color you want your background to be. I kind of want like a creamy neutral color, and then just click and drag, and it'll put it behind your character since this layer is the lowest. See, if you switch this layer to up here, it would be in front. We don't want that. Another different way. Whoa, what did I do? Okay, hold on. I did something. I think I just expanded this. I didn't mean to. There we go. Okay. Okay. Another way to do shadows, at least for the background, this is just something I do real quick. I'll get the pencil tool and make sure this is selected, your fill. You can have this selected too, just make sure it's the same color if you have it. We're gonna go with, no, not that. We're going to get out of the rectangle first. Now pencil. We're gonna go with this kind of dark gray. And if you draw behind these guys, kind of just like trace their outline. You can get a sort of shadow behind them. Alright, now I've got this. You can select that, and up here is your opacity, and you can change that to like 40% or something, and it kind of creates like a shadow behind them. It's a little bit too dark. There. Sorry, I had to answer the phone. And you can experiment with different like colors for shading. Like, for example, I'm just doing this just for fun. You have this red, and if you change this opacity to 30%, it gives off a different kind of colored shadow than what this would. That actually might look nicer. But yeah, you can just experiment around with that. What else? It's so bad. There's different kind of paintbrushes that you can get cool textures with. Like, I like the ink ones. You get like these splatters and stuff. Yeah. Let's see what that looks like. Just a little splatter. Just interesting things. I mean, with all like art programs, it's just basically playing around and figuring out what stuff does. I mean, I'm still doing that, obviously. So yeah, this is a short tutorial. I hope it gave you some interesting information. If not, I'm sorry. And thanks for watching.